Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. You are watching Hum Sab TV and I am Muneeb Hamid with the news in English. Army says troops being sent to Saudi Arabia. Taking a major decision, the Army on Thursday announced that it is deploying troops in Saudi Arabia under an existing bilateral security pact. In continuation of ongoing Pak-Saudi bilateral security cooperation, a Pakistan Army contingent is being sent to KSA on training and advice mission. The Inter-Services Public Relations announced after a meeting between Army Chief General Qamar Javed Bajwa and Saudi Ambassador Nawaf Saeed Al-Maliki at the General Headquarters, which was said to be about regional security situation. General Bajwa had earlier this month quietly visited Saudi Arabia, where he stayed for nearly 3 days, and his only known meetings were with Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman and Commander of Ground Forces Lieutenant General Prince Fahd bin Turki bin Abdul Aziz. This was his second visit to Kingdom in the 2 months. No more sympathy. Supreme Court issues contempt notice to absconding Rao Anwar after deadline expires. There was no sign of Rao Anwar on Friday morning as the Supreme Court began hearing the Naqibullah Masood extrajudicial killing case. Chief Justice Mia Saqib Nisar, after waiting for the absconding police official for about an hour, issued a contempt of court notice to Anwar and directed all law enforcement agencies to locate him. He also ordered that the court should be updated about their progress. Anwar has lost a great opportunity by not appearing in court today. The court's sympathy for him has ended, remarked the CGP. It is the police's responsibility to arrest anyway, the Chief Justice said, while adding that the court had given the former SSP a fair chance. Pakistan concerned over FATF watchlist move, said Foreign Office spokesman Dr. Muhammad Faisal. Pakistan has expressed serious concerns over a motion submitted to the Financial Action Task Force for placing it on a watchlist. Foreign Office spokesman Dr. Muhammad Faisal said at a weekly briefing on Thursday that the FATF was an international body responsible for setting standards for combating money laundering and terrorist financing. Such motions were aimed at hampering the economic growth of Pakistan, he added. He said the ongoing anti-terrorist operations by the Pakistan Army were proof of the country's commitment towards combating this menace. In reply to a question, Dr. Faisal said the Afghan president's tweets about Naqibullah Masood's case were interference in Pakistan's internal affair. Sindh Chief Minister Syed Murad Ali Shah orders appointment of 6,000 elementary school teachers. Sindh Chief Minister Syed Murad Ali Shah, who had announced in his last budget speech that he would give every district at least one English medium school with the Cambridge system in the public sector, was told on Thursday that 15 of 25 such schools are ready to start functioning by December 2018. These schools would be run through private management while the government would bear all the expenditures including tuition fees, textbooks, exercise material, registration fee, examination fee and even the salaries of the teaching and non-teaching staff, while the private partner would have to run the management effectively. This emerged at a meeting of the School Education Department, which was presided over by Chief Minister Syed Murad Ali Shah here on Thursday at the CM House. The Chief Minister, reviewing the progress of the new school building, said, "I want to start these English medium schools by end of April." He directed the department to appoint 6,000 junior elementary school teachers so that early childhood education system, English medium and comprehensive high schools could be started. Attacks kill 10 police personnel and 2 children die in Afghan blast. Attacks blamed on the Taliban in northern and western Afghanistan killed at least 10 members of the country's security forces, officials said on Thursday, while a landmine explosion in western Herat province killed 2 children. In western Farah province, police commander Abdul Razak Al-Khani said a Taliban attack killed 7 policemen Wednesday night. The Taliban hit a police post in Bala Buluk district, and the hours-long fighting also killed 3 insurgents before the Taliban were pushed back, Al-Khani said. In the northern Faryab province, Karim Yuresh, spokesperson for the provincial police chief, said a Taliban attack killed 3 policemen in Kaysar district, also on Wednesday night. 10 Taliban insurgents were also killed in the ensuing gun battle, he added. The 2 children killed in a landmine explosion in western Herat province were children of a local Taliban figure, said Abdul Ahad Walizada, a spokesman of the provincial chief police. 2 Indian Air Force pilots killed in plane crash. The Indian Air Force said 2 of its pilots were killed on Thursday after their plane crashed in a remote northeastern state. The microlight plane crashed soon, taking off for a routine sortie of Johrat Airways in Assam state. An Air Force official said the pilots attempted an emergency landing, but the plane crashed and burst into flames. Both the pilots died in the crash and a court of inquiry has been ordered, the official said. It was not immediately clear what caused the 2-seater to crash, but accidents are not uncommon. More than 170 Air Force pilots have lost their lives in accidents in the past 3 decades, with crashes blamed on its aging fleet. Russia says 5 of its citizens killed by US strike in Syria. After a week of swirling controversy, Russia acknowledged on Thursday that 5 of its citizens may have been killed by a US strike in Syria, the first time Russians have died at US hands in Syria. Russian Foreign Minister spokeswoman Maria Zakharova emphasized that the 5 victims weren't Russia's servicemen. According to preliminary information, 5 people, presumably Russian citizens, may have been killed in combat, the circumstances of which are being clarified, Zakharova said in a briefing. Some others have been injured, and it's still necessary to check whether they are citizens of Russia or other nations. Until Thursday, both Russian and US officials said they had no information on Russian casualties in the February 7 clash, which came when pro-Syrian government forces attacked positions of the US-backed Syrian Kurdish fighters in the oil-rich eastern province of Deir el-Zor and faced a ferocious US counterback. Ramaphosa sworn South Africa's new president after the resignation of Jacob Zuma. Cyril Ramaphosa on Thursday was sworn in as South Africa's new president after the resignation of Jacob Zuma, whose scandals brought the storied African National Congress to its weakest point since taking power at the end of apartheid. "I will try very hard not to disappoint the people of South Africa," Ramaphosa said in an ending speech to Parliament shortly after ruling party lawmakers elected him. He said the issue of corruption is on our radar screen. Ramaphosa was the only candidate nominated for election after 2 opposition parties said they would not participate. The 2 parties instead successfully called for the dissolution of the National Assembly and early elections. The United States wants United Nations action over report on Iranian missile to Yemen. U.S. Ambassador Nikki Haley said on Thursday that it was time for the Security Council to act following the release of a report by UN experts concluding that Iran had violated the arms embargo on Yemen. The report found that Iran had failed to block supplies to Yemen's Houthi rebels of ballistic missiles that were fired at Saudi Arabia. This report highlights what we've been saying for months. Iran has been illegally transferring weapons in violation of multiple Security Council resolutions, Haley said in a statement. The ambassador added that the world cannot continue to allow these blatant violations to go unanswered and that Tehran must face consequences. World Bank funded project hit by corruption, told World Bank representative Hans Janssen. World Bank representative Hans Janssen called on growers' leaders at the office of the Sindh Chamber of Agriculture to discuss with them various projects funded by the bank in Sindh, according to a press release issued by the SCA here on Thursday. SCA General Secretary Zahid Bukhari and other leaders complained to Mr. Janssen that the WB funded projects including Sindh Agriculture Growth Project, Water Sector Improvement Project and Sindh Irrigated Agriculture Productivity Enhancement Project were hit by corruption and they collectively could not strengthen the agriculture sector. They told the WB representative that the agriculture economy and agriculture sector did not get any benefit from these projects. They urged him to recommend direct monitoring of the projects by international financial institution. Mr. Janssen was briefed about the state of agriculture sector and economy and growers' plight. Changes in team necessary after New Zealand debacle, said Chief Selector Inzamam ul Haq. Disappointed at Pakistan's pathetic performance in the recently held ODI series in New Zealand, Chief Selector Inzamam ul Haq on Thursday gave a clear signal of changes in the national team. when a team loses a series 0-5. Changes are necessary in Zamam told at the Model Town Club grounds while inaugurating a local limited overs tournament. At the same time, I would say that we also need to play more one-day cricket at domestic and international levels, as we have been playing a significant number of T20 matches of late. Sarfaraz Ahmed, captain Pakistan last year, rose from nowhere to clinch the prestigious ICC Champions Trophy in England in June, followed by a 5-0 series victory against Sri Lanka in the UAE last year. However, the ODI team suffered a humiliating 5-0 clean sweep in the away series against the Kiwis last month. Following the ODIs, Pakistan's T20 outfit clicked to win the three-match series 2-1. And now the weather forecast for the next 24 hours. Mainly cold and dry weather is expected in most parts of the country. And that is the end of the news. For more news and updates, keep watching Hums Up TV.
Please subscribe to Hums Up TV and hit the notification icon on the screen to get the latest updates of our channel. Thank you for watching Hums Up TV.